Welcome into Minnesota Vikings Now. I am Tom Downey. Can we pick up 25 new subscribers on today's video? We appreciate everyone who's been subbed for a long time. If you are new, whether you're subbing today or past month or two, head down to the comments section, type in Skull right now, and join us for more free Vikings videos all off season long. It is the offseason, and there are plenty of Minnesota Vikings rumors out there to discuss. Whether it's cutting Adam Thielen, drafting a new receiver, and a whole lot more, we break it all down today, beginning with something we've discussed multiple times throughout the season, that maybe Adam Thielen won't be back as a member of the Vikings organization next year. The Vikings could very well cut Thielen, who will turn 33 before the start of next year's regular season, and there are savings to be had. The Vikings would save $6.4 million if they cut him right this second. They could then spend that money on whatever they wanted, a new cornerback, they roll it over, whatever. If they wait, or more likely designate Adam Thielen as a post-June 1st cut, they would save $13.4 million. That's a lot of money. Now, you couldn't use it until after June 1st, but that takes care of your draft class costs. It takes care of your spending money for later moves, help pay for your Jefferson extension on the books. They help take care of that there. And from my eye test, producer Patrick's, and I know many of yours in the comments, Adam Thielen did lose a step this year. Now, he can still help you. He can still be a productive wide receiver, but this is no longer peak Adam Thielen. And I think over the years, maybe it's in part because Justin Jefferson's emerged, but Adam Thielen has not gone for 1,000 yards since 2018. That's a very long time for a wide receiver on the wrong side of fitter to go. And it's been back-to-back years of his yards per catch is down below 11. That's two career lows in back-to-back years. We can blame some quarterback, some scheme stuff as well, but I'm not really trying to keep a sub 750-yard receiver. He's done it back-to-back years now for a big chunk of change. I think financially and from a roster-building perspective, as great as Thielen has been, and if he wants to come back on a cheap deal, well, we make that happen too. I'm not paying him what he's currently costing. So I'm down for a pay cut, but he might not take that in the end. There's also this comment from Adam Thielen's wife on Instagram, and she later kind of sort of backtracked it, but, the cat's out of the bag there, my friend. Just like that, the season and our time here in Minnesota might be at an end. Too proud of referring to Thielen's attitude this season and always fighting. Thielen's still a pretty good red zone option, but again, the dropped down to 6 touchdowns this year. 10, 14, was of course super banged up in 2019, only had 48 targets that year. But 2018 was the last time, even though he only played 15 games in 2020, that he's hit that 1,000-yard mark. Pretty close in 2020. Would have gotten there if healthy in 2019, but when you see 3 straight years of decline, at least from a statistical perspective, and you're on the wrong side of 30, that's a big, big blinking red flag that, maybe you don't want to keep that guy around at his current cap hit. So what do you want to do with Thielen? C for cut him, K for keep him. This is the pinned comments on today's video. So if an ad break happens to come here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Type in C for cut or type in K for keep. Head down to that pinned comment and vote right now. Now, we'll probably do an entire video on Adam Thielen replacements if and when the Vikings do move on from their veteran wide receiver, but a little tease of what there is in free agency to start. Not a great grouping. Jacoby Myers, Juju Smith-Schuster, both a little bit more bigger-bodied slots. Myers is young, productive. Juju's young, but has battled injuries and not the best production of late. Allen Lazard, he's a number 3 blocker on the outside. I'm not breaking the bank for him. Darius Slayton and DJ Chark fit the speedy vertical threat archetype, which I don't really think you have, and I wouldn't mind adding a Chark or Slayton alongside Jefferson as a tertiary target to be that number 3, number 4 option, whatever it ends up being, as your predominant speed downfield that helps just make life easier on your offense if you have that speed option, that vertical playmaker on the outside. There also, of course, is the draft route. Some names, not the encompassing list of names who could be there late round 1 or maybe round 2 or whatever, Quentin Johnston, first name mention. Then we'll end things on Jordan Addison, by the way. Quentin Johnston, keep him in the purple, right? Bigger body. I like him to a skinny Dez Bryant, where he's good after the catch, contested catch to an extent, but isn't an elite separator. Jackson Smith-Njigba, probably going to be a slot receiver. I think a good version or a close to peak version of Tyler Boyd, he's a great slot receiver. That's a good thing to have on your roster late round one. Jalen Hyatt fits that. It's kind of like a DJ Chark mold-ish, a little bit skinnier. Slot, a lot of reps at Tennessee. Downfield threat, needs a lot of work as a route runner, but he brings you speed. Rashee Rice was highly productive at SMU. I think he's an under-the-radar, maybe late round one, probably more round two target. Then there's Jordan Addison, who I've gone back and forth on Addison, Johnston being my number one receiver. It depends on what you want. Do you want the yak guy, bigger body in Johnston, or do you want the smaller body but faster and better route runner in Addison? If he falls to you at 23, I think you have to think about taking him. Not because you're going to replace Justin Jefferson, but hey, now you got 5 years of a cheap wide receiver too who's damn good at football. I kind of like that idea as far as I'm concerned for Minnesota. Addison's got a little bit of Stephon Diggs in his game. He's not the biggest receiver. But he's fast. He's a good route runner. He actually does a pretty good job in contested catches. USC didn't force feed him the ball as much as Pitt did, but he's damn good. And I would love that pick at number 23. What do you guys think, though? Would you draft Jordan Addison at the number 23 overall selection? D, for your drafted him. P, for your passing, going in a different direction. Let me know in the comments section. And remember, if you're betting on sports, do it with BetUS. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code CHAT125. $100 down minimum gets you the deposit bonus. You can bet on the Super Bowl. Eagles now a 1-point favorite. That line continues to shift and move. Over-under is 49.5. That's a lot of fun there. Go bet on them or anything. NBA, college basketball, they got you covered. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code CHAT125. Next up on Vikings Now, should Minnesota re-sign Duke Shelley? I like this idea. First off, thanks Chicago for cutting Duke Shelley and making a mistake. This is some DJ Reed cut by the Seahawks, or a couple of the Niners ends up in Seattle and then gets paid by the Jets and free agents, type of stuff there. I don't love him in run sport. It's fine. If the big concern of your corner is, well, he's not a great tackler, okay, I can live with that. Like, you want him to be good tacklers, I know, but if that's your problem, that's the problem I'd rather have than, well, he just can't cover. Like, if you're going, tackle stats for corners means they're bad. That's what that means. It means they're getting beat and making tackles. His coverage numbers, though, whoo-wee, 41 targets, 20 catches allowed. That's a great ratio. 249 yards. That is it. 10 pass breakups. He did not allow a touchdown. I was very, very impressed by Duke Shelley, but now he's set to hit free agency, along with Patrick Peterson, and things are just kind of dicey as at the current moment for Duke Shelley. Like, how do you end up playing him? He was mainly a wide corner despite his size. Again, it's the DJ Reed thing. Like, he's built like a nickel, but he played on the outside for Minnesota. Didn't get very many reps at the slot corner spot. Patrick Peterson might not be back. Maybe he calls it a career. Andrew Booth is hopefully a piece. Caleb Evans, Cam Dames, I don't really believe in those guys. I think Shelley can be a nice piece for you. And I think coming off the back-end year that he did, where it wasn't a full-on breakout entire season, kind of more of a breakout half. I mean, he wasn't even playing for Minnesota till week 12, then really impressed. Those last couple games, he was awesome. So I think that actually brings down the value of a Duke Shelley. The contract proposal is a complete guess, don't get me wrong there, but a heavily guaranteed 3-year deal. Because worst case, you're paying a premium for your cornerback 3 spot. It's not that dissimilar from the Jordan Lewis deal a little bit ago from the Dallas Cowboys, who Lewis was more of a nickel and Shelley plays on the outside despite their sizes being pretty similar there. 3 years, $12 million. It's a $4 million average. Maybe Shelley wants more, but from a guaranteed perspective, I think that's kind of nice. So would you offer this deal if you were the Vikings? Again, such a small sample size of elite play, it will drive down the value, I know. But I am curious to see if that's enough, if that's something either side wants. Let me know what you guys think. Would you offer the deal? Y or N?